Hi, I'm Ernie Zor for Puritas Springs Software, and you're watching what is now, I think, our fourth or fifth brief demonstration video of the new U.S. income tax for estates and trusts. For short, we all know it as the 1041 application. In this video, I'll be preparing the 1041 return for a decedent's estate that has income, dividends, and proceeds from a sale of stock. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that the screen is divided into two sections. The left side is the tree view, and the right side is the form or document window. Although the contents of the document window change from one form to the next, depending on what you're viewing, the contents of the tree view don't change. The tree view is always there in view, and you could use it as a checklist of the steps for completing a return. The first step is entering some basic information on page 1. However, like a few of our other tax demos, I'm not going to waste time typing and tabbing from field to field. Instead, right now I'm going to open up a file that I prepared with part 1 already complete. Let's look at the lower part of the form, and so I'm going to scroll down the page, and you'll see that there are tan-colored fields. There we go. That you can't tab to or click on. They're read-only, and the application will complete those fields itself. Now, we haven't entered any financial information in yet, so most of the lines are 0. But there's one more type of field in addition to the white and tan ones that I'd like to show you. There are light blue ones. I'm going to show, I think line 1 will do it. Let me go up there to line 1. And line one, you'll see that these blue fields are like the tan ones. They calculate themselves, but they can be overridden in cases where there are extenuating circumstances or a reason for modifying the default answer. There's a button on the top for overriding. I'm not going to do that now, but I just wanted to show you that what the blue fields were all about. So I'm going to leave page 1 now because most of the additional work will be done on the worksheets, the schedules, and Form 8949, all of which I'm going to get to in a moment. But for right now, I just am happy to have completed step 1. Next step is the importance of saving your work. The rule that I've heard and become fond of repeating is early and often. And now that we have a bit of identification information in the file, we're reminded in step 2 to save the file. Now, typically I would click on step 2 in the tree view and I'd give the file a name and I'd save it, but this file I just opened already has a name and it's been saved, so I'll just move on to the first source of income, which is interest income. Now, as I mentioned before, interest can be entered directly on line 1 by overriding the blue field. However, the real place for entering interest income is the interest worksheet. And that's where I'm going to head right now. I'm going to go into the tree view. I'm going to click on Form 1041, Interest, New, and when the worksheet pops up there, you're going to see that there's plenty of room on one continuation page, and I can't even imagine needing more than one, but they are there if you do need additional pages. You can see how the interest worksheet works. You enter the payer's name on the left and the amount on the right. But you guessed it, instead of tabbing through and having you watch me type, I'm going to open a file that I've already prepared with a couple of interest payors in it already. There they are. And so now we can move on to the dividend income, and basically it's entered the same as interest. There's a worksheet, and that's where I'm going to go right now. I'll go to the tree view and click on Dividends, New, and again, I'm not going to enter a bunch of dividend payors in there. I'm going to open a file that I've already prepared. Go to the dividend worksheet so you can see it. There they are. Now, last thing here in the way of income is the sale of stock. Schedule D has changed over the years, and now you're usually dealing with Form 8949, and Schedule D is just a conduit to Form 1041. In our example, the estate has long-term capital gains and losses on the sale of stock, and you need to know whether your transaction is long-term or short-term, and whether you've made or whether you've received a 1099. Because that'll make a difference what selection you make. In our example, the gains and losses are long-term, and were reported on a Form 1099-B. So in the tree view, I'm going to select Schedule D, Form 8949, long-term box D, new. That's how you get to Form 8949, but as you may have expected, I've got a file prepared already with some transactions in it, and I'm going to open that right now. And I'm going to go back to Form 8949 so you can see the transactions. Let me scroll down a little bit. So there they are. There's just two of them. Now what I want to do is show you how that's transferred. So let's take a look now at Schedule D, page 1. And I'm going to scroll down a bit to Part 2, which is the long term, and you can see that the information from Form 8949 has already been transferred there. The transferring isn't done yet, though. Let's look at page 1 of Form 1041, and you can see, at least in the income section, I'll scroll down to the income section there, and you can see that the 3 items of income have been transferred from the worksheets and from Form 8949 and Schedule D. And that's the interest on line 1, dividends on line 2, and the capital gains on line 4. Now, with the basically the income section is complete now, and I could enter some expenses in the deduction section, like fiduciary fees or attorney and accountant fees. There are many possible expenses, but let's just use fiduciary fees and attorney fees for right now. I'll go to the fiduciary fee line. I'm going to pop in $5,000. And I'm going to go to the attorney line, which is line 14, and I'm going to type in $6,000. And basically the return is complete. I'll scroll a little farther down so you can see the taxes and payments section. And there you go. That's the done return. And basically, I could even put preparer information down at the bottom, and as you see, there is preparer information down there, but typically you would do that in the default file, and if you know how to do that, that's great. If you don't, and you'd like more information about how to set up your default file, because it saves you time, there is a YouTube FAQ video specifically on the default file. Now, finally, by way of overview, I'm going to print the return by clicking on the print button, and you'll see a dialog where you can select the forms and schedules you want to print. It detects the forms you used, and it checks those boxes automatically, but of course you can select and unselect any ones that you wish. I'm going to leave the selections as is, and I'm going to click on the print preview button. What you're looking at now is a preview of the return, the completed return in Microsoft Word, and I'm going to go to the View menu's full screen view so you could see more than a page at a time. And let's take a look at this return. There's pages 1 and 2 of the return. I'll go to the next set of, what do we got here? The worksheets, the interest worksheet and the dividend income worksheet look great. Let me see what's next. Schedule D there, and there's the because the estate owed money, there's the estimated tax worksheet and the estimated tax vouchers, and that's about it. So until next time, or well, no, you know what, I did want to say one more thing. I wanted to thank you for watching this demonstration video, and if you're interested in seeing more of our demonstration videos, or the FAQ videos, or the tutorial videos, remember that you can follow us on Facebook or subscribe to our channel on YouTube. So until next time, have a great day.